The Indiana Pacers have been one of the most dominant playoff teams throughout this postseason. This is a Pacers team that we never really expected them to replicate the conference finals run that they had last year, let alone potentially make it to the finals. But they continue to shock everyone, including me, by being this dominant offensively while being much more improved defensively. And what we've seen from them in Game 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals, taking 2 games at MSG, it is likely that they'll sweep the Knicks in their home court because they are even more dominant at their home floor, having a 4-1 record at home, including a belt-to-ass performance against the Cavs in Game 4. Now, going back to Game 2 of the conference finals, the Pacers once again take 2 games at the Knicks' home floor, including a legacy game by Pascal Siakam. 39 points, which is a career high, along with 5 rebounds, 3 assists, making 15 out of his 23 attempts. He has been sensational throughout that game. And also TyreseHaliburton, not much of a scoring option, and actually was shooting terribly throughout that game, but he dished out 11 assists and was making big time shots late in the game. Despite him having a negative plus minus, the stats don't really tell the full story. He was controlling the offense and the pace of the game so much that the Knicks at times can't really keep up with them in transition, and Halliburton continues to make looks for all of his teammates, and with the depth they have on the floor, it is really hard for the Knicks to consistently make stops on defense, especially if you have Pascal Siakam going off on a almost 40 piece. And let me go on the Knicks for a tad bit here. The Knicks have looked gas out there. Their half-court offense looked very abysmal, especially when Jalen Brunson is on the bench, and Karl Anthony Towns, he had a scoreless first quarter, but picked it up with 12 points in the second, but didn't do a whole lot in the second half and was getting picked apart defensively throughout, picking up stupid fouls, and even got to the point that Coach Tibbs had to bench Cat for Mitchell Robinson when they were down by 10 for 7 minutes before coming back in the last 2 minutes of the game, and he didn't do shit. Mikal Bridges was solid throughout that game. OG Anunoby has been struggling from 3, especially from open looks, and the whole Knicks bench just couldn't contribute enough. Despite Jalen Brunson's incredible game in Game 2, the whole team didn't show up enough in a pivotal Game 2, and now being down 2-0 and going on the road to Indiana, it's going to be extremely tough for the Knicks to tie this series at the Pacers' home court, because once the Pacers win one more game, especially at Indiana, is over. As for the Pacers, they should be really comfortable with the lead they have now, because when you go back home up 2-0, you're dominant at home, and you have a really good chance towards sweeping the Knicks at your home floor. And for New York to go out and win 2 straight games at Indy, I don't know about that, man, because they simply do not have the depth nor have the offense to really beat Indiana at home. Aaron Nesmith, TyreseHaliburton, Miles Turner, Andrew Nembhard, all these guys have the ability to go off at any given night, along with their point of attack defense they have. They can go 10 deep, the fastest pace, up-tempo, efficient offense they have. I don't know, guys. For the Pacers to go up 2-0, going back home, it feels like the series is over because, like I said, Indiana is the best team in the playoffs at home. And if they sweep the Knicks, who've been the defending champions in the Boston Celtics, then they might go down as one of the greatest underdog teams of all time. And they can further cement that if they beat OKC or Minnesota and win the whole thing. This iconic playoff run from the Pacers will be remembered as a hardwood classic, coming back not 1, not 2, but 3 10-point deficits with under 2 minutes left of the game, which is, by the way, the most in playoff history. They also put down the 64-win Cavs team in 5 games. You also got legacy games like Aaron Nesmith going for 30 points in Game 1, including hitting 6 straight threes in the fourth quarter, along with a Pascal Siakam legacy game the very next game. And the man on the helm, TyreseHaliburton, one of the most clutch players I have ever seen in my life. And in this playoff run that he's having, especially all the clutch performances he has led to, I think it's safe to say that he's neck and neck with the likes of a Jalen Brunson in the clutch. Now, the Knicks could come back and still 2 games to tie the series, but it's going to be extremely tough for them to do so because they are lacking in depth. They over rely on Jalen Brunson to carry over the offense, and you're just not going to win the series this way, especially if you're dealing with the Pacers of all people. So this is a very daunting deficit for the Knicks. And as for the Pacers, they continue to prove why their run last year was not a fluke. And as far as the landscape goes in the Eastern Conference, it is going to be the Indiana Pacers for the taking because they're still moderately young. Halliburton is about to hit his prime. Pascal Siakam has a couple of years left of his peak, and so is Miles Turner. Eric Nesmith, the Nembhard is only going to get better. This playoff run they are having, they are proving to this conference that, hey, we are going to own the conference. We've made it to back-to-back conference finals appearances, and we are 2 games away from winning the whole conference and making the finals since 2000. The Pacers aren't going away. In fact, they are going to own the Eastern Conference for many years to come. And don't be surprised if TyreseHaliburton wins an MVP later in his career and brings a championship to Indiana, which he can definitely do this year, given how open the run is to win it all this year. And no, OKC is not going to dog walk the whole rest of the way, especially what we've seen in Game 3 of the conference finals. So Indiana definitely have a shot at winning the whole thing, and if so, they will run the Eastern Conference for potentially the rest of the decade. So that's the video, y'all. Let me know what your thoughts on this video. Will the Pacers sweep the Knicks and beat OKC or in Minnesota to win it all? Let me know in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. And that is all. Stay litty. This is the A-Man Show. Signing out.